We went to St. Petersburg with Chris Norman early, so what, 1995? And it was kind of quite basic back then. I remember having to order lunch at breakfast time in order for someone to stand in a queue and get it. And it was all basic. There wasn't even a McDonald's over there. I remember when the first McDonald's opened in Moscow, and it was just the greatest thing to just go across the road and get a Mickey D's and come back, rather than the stuff that you had to endure before that. Anyway, we were in St. Petersburg on this occasion and staying in the grandest of hotels. This place had big chandeliers. It had a big kind of dining area and a huge kind of bar area, a big open space right in the middle of this hotel. Big marble kind of corridor that ran right the way round. Huge reception outside, grand on a large building scale. And we did the show, and we came back to the hotel, and so we decided to go and have a drink in the bar. So we go to the bar, and there's no one in the bar. There may be one guy having a drink in the bar. I think there was part of a casino as well attached to this thing, but quite empty. There were 3 working girls, and they were just kind of going around the tables. As I say, there was only one other guy in there, so they came to us pretty quick. One of them sat down and said, started talking, and we explained, thanks very much, but we're not interested. There was, I think, about five guys, 2 backing singers downstairs at the time. Anyway, we weren't interested, but we said, look, do you want to join us for a drink? Anyway, we're all having a bit of a late night drink. So we all sat at the bar and we're chatting away, and she was actually studied to be a geologist, as it happens, and got $20 a month from the government to be a geologist, but she got $200 a night being a whore. So that's what she was doing. And she was a lovely lass. She was, really pretty. And anyway, we all having a great chat, and this guy walks in, big kind of, he's got this kind of black coat on, and a shaved head almost, and looks a little bit dodgy, shall we say. And he goes over to the other girls in the bar, and they step outside with him. They take their handbags with them, and they step outside into the marble corridor and do whatever they're doing, and the girls kind of come back in, and this kind of, you can see this out the corner of your eye, and there's nobody else in the bar. It's very empty. And he comes up to the lass we were talking to, and he says, whatever it is he said to her in Russian, and she's replying "nicht," and I presume she's saying she didn't have any customers that night, and there was no one in the bar. Anyway, for some reason he turns around and he kind of gives her quite a hard thump in the face. Not a punch, not a slap, but kind of an in-between. To which 5 of us guys react, and we stand up and we're like, whoa, 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 mate, come on. You can't do this. She's kind of saying, don't say anything. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a mobile phone. And this is 1995. If you've got a mobile phone in Russia in 1995, none of us had mobile phones. If you had a mobile phone at all, you were pretty big. There was something going on. And he says, pulls out this phone, he says, is there a problem here, boys? And we kind of think, oh, hang on. No, there's no problem. Everything's fine. No, in fact, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. We're just having a drink. And he carries on talking to her and saying things, and he hits her again. And 3 of us naturally react. We stand up. Well, mate, come on. Stop this. He picks his phone up again. He says, so there is a problem here. And we look at him again and we're like, well, no, actually, no, there's a drink here and I'm really sorry. And no, didn't see anything, carry on, you know. Really quite scared, actually. Anyway, at this point, he grabs hold of her round her side of her face, and grabs in her mouth, puts his fingers in her mouth, and drags her out to the marble foyer area. And with that, starts to punching her, kicking her. It was horrific. You could see, you could hear the head cracking on the marble, you know, and it was just... So me and Trevor at the time, we run round the other side. There's a couple of entrances and exits to this thing, and we run out and we go round to the front of the hotel to find security. We find the security guard. We say to him, "Listen, mate, you know, I know what's going on, but really, in your hotel, in your bar, can you please go and sort this out and stop this happening?" So this guy kind of reluctantly kind of walks along with us, and we're going down the corridor, and me and Trevor sit back a little bit. We hold back a little bit, and this guy goes forward, and at a distance, he says to this chap, he calls out to him and says something in Russian, to which this guy pulls a gun out, points it at him, and says something back. To which the security guy kind of puts his hands up in the air and, you know, kind of a, "Oh, gotcha," you know, and starts walking back down the corridor. So me and Trevor are concerned about the people now in the bar, you know, especially the backing singers. And so we go in the bar around the side entrance and we said, "Look, everyone go to your rooms. You know, we're going to take you to your rooms now." And we start dropping everyone off at their rooms, make sure they get there. And I come down in the lift, I'm coming down to my floor now, and I'm going off to my room. And as I come out of my lift, I see a couple of feet coming down the stairs, and then I see the end of his hand and a gun in it. And I run to my room, which is at the end of the corridor, fumble with the key, I get myself in, and I close the door, and I look through the spy hole, and he's kind of at the end of the corridor having a good look around. I swear to God, he was probably looking for us. I mean, I can only assume that he was looking for us, because he knew that we'd kind of told security, and also we'd seen what had gone on. And I've never been this scared in my life. And I phoned the tour manager and I said to him, "Listen, this is the situation. This is what's just gone on. I'm really fucking scared." And he said, "Look, no one's seen me. No one knows who I am. I'm going to go for a little stroll through the hotel and come up to your room, and that way, if I bump into anybody, you know, whatever." And he comes upstairs and he comes into my room and he sees me and he says, "Look, I can't see anybody around at the moment. It all looks pretty good, but we've got the first flight out of here in the morning, so it's all going to be okay." I said, "Okay," and we drank the minibar dry. Everything that was in that minibar, I drank. And then that night, I didn't sleep in my bed. I actually put the pillows in my bed, and there was a writing bureau on the side, little desk, and I crouched underneath it, and I put my bags, my suitcase, up in front of it, and I sat there underneath until the morning, like this. Didn't sleep, just waited, and thought, if someone comes in my room and pops a couple of shots in that pillow, I ain't going to be in there. And I just waited like that till the morning. Come the morning time, we get down to reception and we're checking out, and I'm leaving the hotel to get on the bus, and as I come out the hotel, this guy comes in through the revolving door, and we literally pass through the revolving door, and I've got my head down and my heart is beating, and I'm thinking, "Oh shit, don't recognise me." You know, I've got a baseball cap on at this stage, but I'm thinking I'm too obvious anyway. And I walk out, and thankfully no one kind of says anything or does anything, and I look round and he's chatting to the security guard and having a laugh and a joke and giving him money, and it was the scariest thing I've seen ever. I think Russia was so scary back then. In Moscow there were no cabs. You literally waved someone down and hitched a ride, and it was across snow and ice. So you got in this car and it just skipped along, and you slid around. You didn't know they might have been drinking vodka all night, but the only way to get back from a club back in those days was to just hitch a ride with someone, anyone.